to go out to Capitol Hill now, where New York Congresswoman Nydia Velazquez is standing by for us. Congresswoman, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us. I'm assuming you've been watching this explosive testimony along with the rest of us. I'm wondering, how damaging do you think this has been for the president today?
Well, very much. This is the first time that the ambassador to the European Union, Sondland, basically confirmed that there was a quid pro quo from the part of the president. So it is damaging. He also spoke about the fact that when he approached the president and talked to the president and asked questions, the president told him, talk to Rudy. And what it shows is that there was a long, concerted effort from the White House, the president, to withhold not only aid, $400 million in aid, but also a White House meeting just to bribe a foreign actor to interfere in our elections.
Congresswoman, before these public hearings, it seemed fairly clear that Democrats were leaning toward voting for impeachment. Does it seem more likely now than before after hearing the testimony?
Definitely. By the way, I was the first member of Congress in 2016 to send a letter to AG Lynch asking for the appointment of a special counsel regarding the investigation of Russia meddling in our elections. And back in the summer, in June, I called for an impeachment of the president, to initiate an impeachment inquiry. And so now it is important that the American people see by themselves the evidence, listen to the evidence, and connect the dots. And particularly today was a John Dean moment. This is a clear connection, connecting the president with the quid pro quo and all the effort to basically bribe a foreign agent to interfere and to gain politically from the participation of a foreign actor.
And Congresswoman, your Republican colleagues have been pretty unified in standing together in defense of the president. Do you see any cracks in that defense right now from the Republicans?
Well, you know, this is why this impeachment inquiry is so important. I believe that the American public, we need to bring the American public on our side. Impeachment is a political event, divides the country, but this is the opportunity for the members of the committee to bring in the witnesses to so that they could ask the questions, and we got the facts. The facts are overwhelming. It is up to the Republicans and the voters and the constituents of those Republicans in those districts to put the pressure on the Republican members to do right by the American people. They have to make a decision whether they are going to be on the side of the American people, on the side of democracy, protecting our democratic institution. That's the question that we need to pose before Republicans in Congress. This is not about a member. This is about our nation. This is about our democracy.
Congresswoman, I saw you fiddling with your earpiece. Are you still hearing me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear
Good.
you.
I'm just curious. I mean, up until this point, it seemed pretty clear that the Senate would not vote for impeachment or removal from office. Do you sense, though, that might be changing in the Senate?
I don't know. I do see that the Republicans basically are united in defending a president despite the facts, despite the evidence that now is being presented to the American people. And they will pay a price, I'm sure, because this is not, it should not be a Republican or Democratic issue. This is about protecting our democracy. This is serious for the American people. And I believe that either they take a position and they do right by our nation, or they will pay a price coming 2020.
All right, Congresswoman Nydia Velazquez, thanks so much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you for having me.